of this, and we can get deeper into whatever you want to. Hey, it's crazy how once again this started with going down a TikTok wormhole talking about giants, and then next thing we're talking about dragons and understanding some of the stories behind folklore, magic, and all the coolness in the world that some people don't really truly believe in.
Yeah, I mean, it is crazy. There is a lot of, I think this is what I personally think. I think people let their imaginations sometimes get the best of them, and the more they imaginate that thing that they want in their head, the more that it's real to them. Now, however, do I think there are things that are hidden and we don't know the whole truth? Yes. But until I see it with my own eyes, it's all just a great story to tell. And a lot of times I just troll people.
That is that is horrible to say that because
Hey, pause.
with that being said, the trolling
That half was strong.
parties in third grade and stuff like that. What my school did, my cheeseburgers, 30 hot dogs, and a barrel.
Feels good to be here. I still got a lot of goals and stuff. I'm about to retire. I don't. It's not there, and I don't.
Right now,
And
I'm on the grind. You know what I mean? So
Will the Creative and Big Grump, aka Reggie the Tech. Welcome back to Grumpy Gills Kickback, baby. We
what's
are
happening?
out here. We're going to be talking about mythical creatures and mythical things or magic. Some believe, some don't. Let's go.
So my folklore journey really began in high school with I did mythology.
Believe it
Uh,
or not.
mythology. I did mythology.
Mythology, yes.
There we go. I did mythology in I think it was 10th grade. And that kind of started opening up my spidey senses were tingling and I so
My
kind
spidey
of
sense.
it just I don't know, certain stories I heard, it woke me up between that and history. So now with TikTok and all, everybody, it's funny to see all these people's stories. Matter of fact, I forgot to write the dude's name in my notes, but there is this one guy that is so hardly soul believe on the world is all the mountains, everything is giants. We're sleeping on top of serpents that are from a time basically Antarctica is freezing a giant serpent and they're trying to heat the world up because the government is actually reptilian. It's a lot of weird, crazy stuff,
And once
but
again, just to remind everyone, this
this
is
is
maybe
all
a
this is all for
possibly
entertainment.
conspiracy episode too, and
Yeah,
this is all entertainment
this is
purposes. All
for
right.
entertainment purposes only, right? You get down the wormholes of going through TikTok and looking at stuff, but however, biblically speaking, there are serpents in the Bible, but the Bible is technically too, in a sense, how you look at it. Some of it is folklore. So, but the Leviathan, which is in Isaiah 2:7-1, is a twisting serpent dragging of the sea. So the thing that's weird is that how I think it is there's literally dragons and us being in the type of jobs we've had in the past, we've literally seen dragons pretty much in every culture. Every report I've been to at some point, especially being over in the middle in the thing, in us and being over in Seventh Fleet, you pretty much see dragons in every country. So and then come back to see go full circle when you go down your own ventures of learning what you think what you want to learn or what you're interested in. Yeah, you see dragons pretty much told in every culture some point in time in history or whatever, along with giants and all this other things. But the biggest thing that's been circling around TikTok is that there's this giant dragon, and they could I'll see if we can put the picture up. There's supposedly a site map where you could see the dragon's head, its nose, and the rest of its body flowing out, and basically Antarctica is freezing it right now. And that's why they're trying to use fossil fuels to pull the fossil fuels out to reheat the earth up to make this dragon come alive. And start basically melting everything again. And it's crazy to me. In my head, I'm laughing because at the same time, people are so deep into it and want to believe certain things. But I feel like at some point you're too far into your imagination to even recognize reality anymore. So you just let it be. It's have fun having your entertainment purposes, whatever. But in reality, now, however, comma, have they? I don't see. And I don't know if you know, I don't know if you, supposedly they have found giant bones and all this other stuff, but there is a cave in Thailand, I believe, and I forgot the name of it, but it is specific. It's a serpent cave basically, and it literally looks like giant serpent, fossil giant serpent built around it. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick on my iPad. But it's just funny to see all these different people talking about how there's dragons, especially the one recently, is that this giant dragon is they're trying to reheat up Earth. Because I guess all the Democrats and Republicans are freaking reptilian, and they the they worship. I think it's called Giadora, is what they call this dragon too, Giadora or whatever. They worship Giadora, so they're trying to heat up Earth to release Giadora. And us as humans, we were with the dinosaurs. And it kind of reminds me, there's this game I used to play. It was Rampage, I think it was Rampage or something back on 64. But it was the humans were with the dinosaurs, and we used to make the dinosaurs fight. I can't remember the name of the game, but it's crazy how I keep seeing all these TikTok feeds about all this stuff, and people are, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, you build a fantasy in your head so far that you can't come back, that you just have to keep telling it.
So what my belief is on this, my background is I grew up in Louisiana and I've done some studies into certain things. What I've learned throughout time is basically there's truth behind the folklore. The stories come from somewhere, the beliefs come from somewhere, right? And over time, that belief and that system of that knowledge has been lost throughout time. As we can say we believe in magic, people believe in magic. That's why manifestation energies and all this stuff that most people believe in. If you go back to a certain point in time and you want to talk about it of people's beliefs before the age of technological beings, people lived off the earth. And if you
True.
look at most people's belief systems, living off the earth, that's how you gain mana. That's how you gain love from the earth, respecting what the earth provides you or what
True.
the world provides you and stuff that. So once again, there is truth behind a lot of these folklores. Yes. Do I agree with you in the sense where some people get so far away from what the truth is or what the story may be, the actual story may that have happened, is because of many things. It's a good story to tell. It's eye catching. It's it's fear mongering or it's whatever to get people's attention. But at the same time, sometimes the truth is a lot more scarier than what you want to tell people. That's when we talk about the truth behind a lot of the Disney stories. A lot of the truth behind a lot of Disney princesses and stuff that their story is a lot darker than what
Then
Disney
what?
made it to be.
Yep.
So yes, I do believe in a lot of folklore and a lot of mythical creatures were around at a certain point in time. And some people cherry pick enough of the story to make you believe and catch you and be, hey, this is what really happened. This is how it played out. Those big mountains had to come from somewhere. They're just mostly giants. And and pink Himalayan salt is actually giant blood. Yeah, that sounds crazy to the regular
Uh,
person. But then when if you say enough things into it and you tell a good enough story, somebody will believe you.
Yeah, I mean, is it the old saying or something? Like, stick to a lie now, stick to a lie long enough, it'll become the truth.
Yes.
So, and I get it. You read certain things, especially even in the Bible, especially when you read there's a Leviathan and all this other stuff. So, people's minds do wonder. At the end of the day, we will truly not know unless some mythical creature is actually caught on film, comes out of nowhere, and was, oh snap, okay, it's real. It's just been hidden. But I also do believe there is a Bigfoot. The things there's a Chupacabra, but these are, and it's crazy to me. It's just because you, even as an adult, I still remember hearing all this stuff as a child. I remember hearing about the Chupacabra, especially growing up in Arizona. You better watch out, don't be out too late, and the Chupacabra might get you. So, do I believe that some of this could be true at some point in time in history? Yeah, but it's not on our timeline. That's how I look at it.
But that's saying a tree in the woods. Did you see it get chopped down? Does it make a noise?
Yeah, it makes a noise, but nobody hears it.
So once again, how do you know that's not in our timeline?
I mean, if it, because what I'm saying, well, you're right. I don't really know, but and I guess until I see with my own eyes, and I'm all right, it's real, bro. All right, that's a dragon, bro. That's really a dragon over there. Don't burn us down. Sorry, excuse my, but I'm just saying that's how I see it. It's not in front of my face, so I can't really say that it wasn't. And I've never gone on an excavation and went, but the fact that the key things I take away from all this, right? One, the certain areas that should be liberal free for you to be able to go to, and you can't. There are still certain areas of the Grand Canyon that you cannot go to, and it's blocked off by the government. Why? Because they know there's stuff down there they don't want you to see. Right?
Yeah,
Same thing with Antarctica. There's treaties on for every freaking country in Antarctica for you not to go
that's
so far.
that's crazy.
So it's
That's a crazy thing right there.
so it's what are you hiding and how much truth is there? So, and if this is a dimensional world where everything's reflective off of a dome, if there is hitting stuff, if it's been around for thousands, it's already learned how to hide itself in plain sight.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna say I'm turning a blind eye and saying I don't look at certain mountains and be like, I can see that could be a we have in Arizona we have Camelback Mountain. I swear to goodness, bro, Camelback Mountain looks like a giant camel.
Yeah.
It literally looked the head. You could see the head, everything. So it's just, and it's hard not to
Well,
let your
cause
mind go down that path and be maybe this is true. They're saying all the tree stumps where all the
yeah,
chop all the
yeah,
flat, you
but think
know.
about this, right? Think about this in most countries, right? Think about a lot of the doors, a lot of the doors on these buildings that you go to. Why is the door so big? Why is a door handle? If you didn't think there were giants or anything, why is there a door handle 90 feet up in the air on a 100-foot door?
Dude, I don't want to go too far down the weeds of that, but look, all I'm saying is, in full perspective of our timeline, we don't see it. We know things are there based off. That's just we basically missed a whole period, a time period, right? We missed the nobody talks about the Tartarian period, which we basically built over. So they're talking about the Great Flood and all this stuff. Another just thing I just said. Somebody was like, "Yo, the Great Flood only realistically happened 100 years ago," and I
Yeah,
was, "Huh?"
yeah. If you look at the timeline and actually do the math, yes.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So it's we're and then you go back to finding out the Pope was the one that did that because he reset the freaking calendar, which then took back the time. So it's all this weird
Well,
stuff.
it depends. Once again, it depends on how far you want to go down the rabbit hole.
Facts.
It depends on what you are going to consider what is facts and what is actual fiction. Because the crazy part about these things is I could be telling you I can sprinkle in a little bit of truth with a little bit with a whole lot of fiction and you'll miss it.
This is true. So another big thing is they're saying that all the volcanoes are actually dragons that are stuck, and that's the way they breathe. And when the eruptions is
Yeah.
them trying to slowly wake themselves. I was like, what the freak is good? I don't know, man. And then that ties into there's an underworld and all this other stuff and caves. But
Hollow
as
Earth.
far, yeah, Hollow Earth, and that's where the actual Garden of Eden's at. All this stuff, mind you, we're not. To me, I know there's probably more to the naked eye because of already factually knowing there's places that are hidden by the government that we're not allowed to go to, that are natural wonders of the earth. Why aren't we allowed to go to certain parts of the Grand Canyon? Because you guys know that there is stuff down there you don't want us to see. That once it's the truth, it is going to diminish your rule.
Mm.
So it's just it's all at the end of the day, entertainment purposes only. This is all stuff that we ponder about and wonder about when we're going down the TikTok wormhole. But this is thoughts I've had since I was a kid. So if I had these
But
same thoughts I was a
but
kid learning, and I'm like, this is crazy, and I still got
but
and
once
just
again,
recent,
but once again, you're not wrong, right?
yeah,
If we talk about the age before technology, how does everybody have a story if no one can communicate across Pangea or the different continents? If no one can communicate across the different continents, how does everyone have a different story of dragons, of a flood, of this, of that? How was that communicated if a lot of these things, once again, as I've already stated, if they've never happened, if they're just folklore, if they're not real?
yeah. I mean, there's even people saying that they've been walking in the forest and seen fairies and or they know. I'm like, bro, that fairies? That's real, real. So I mean, and then obviously we can. I don't want to go too far on it, but everybody knows about the stories about the Appalachian Mountains and how creepy that is. So I
Can
do.
you expound on that? I would like you to
Uh,
expound on that because
I
everybody doesn't
don't.
know. Everybody doesn't know.
Obviously, people who live in the Appalachian Mountains, and you could literally go on TikTok and type in Appalachian Mountain scares or whatever. There's videos of people. Oh, hey, man, my dog's inside, but I don't know what the heck is that at my door, and it looks just like my dog.
Oh, you're talking about a skinwalker.
Yeah,
Talking about a
so
skinwalker.
they literally say if you're out too far out past dark, be wary and get your ass back inside because
Yeah, the
uh,
biggest thing about being in the woods, especially if you're by yourself and you hear your name called, keep moving.
yeah, yeah, is skinwalkers. So along with other things that they say are out there, werewolves and all this other stuff. So I don't. I said I grew up in the desert, so growing up in the desert, it was the chupacabra at night.
Yeah,
And,
there's more
you
things
know,
in the desert than you would know,
yeah,
than you would actually
exactly.
think of.
Honestly, I was more scared of a javelina than I was a chupacabra at the time because they're vicious. Them little wild pigs are mean, bro.
Hmm.
Pigs are mean, man. So, but overall, hearing all this stuff, and it does make your brain wonder into the point where if the government's hiding stuff, then maybe some of these people saying is actually real. But like I said, entertainment purposes. So, however, if you do look at the map, one guy zooms in on this area, the Antarctica, you can kind of see a shadow of a dragon head kind of thing. Depending on how you want your eyes to wonder and look at, if you're into that type of thing, it does kind of look a dragon head frozen right there in the depths parts of the topical view of the Antarctic and the ocean right there. So I I it's hard to say, man. It's just it's for me to be I 100% believe that dragons are real and all that. I can't. If I have to put it between me and my brain, I'm in a number, I'm probably 30-70. 30% they at one point in time they were probably real. 70% right now, no, I ain't never seen such a thing, so I don't believe that they're real. But it's cool to let your mind drift a little bit and just, I guess, in a sense, it takes you out of your daily stress when you scroll. I don't scroll and looking at them. That's what I'll scroll on. I've seen all these people's stories or the giants and all this other stuff. That's where my mind triggers to.
What? You
Like,
don't believe in Bigfoot?
I do. I mean, I do believe in Bigfoot. There's a recent video. What's the animal? It looks a lion. It's got wings. Somebody, and it didn't. The crazy part, it didn't say AI. Somebody's, oh, if you see this, that means God's coming. And I don't know. It's so easy to manipulate AI videos and then not have it say
Yeah.
AI at the bottom because it's got an AI fact check. But I can't think of the name of that animal. But somebody had a video of it and all this other stuff. Somebody had a
Talking
video
about
of
a
a where
Sphinx?
Yeah, Sphinx. Somebody had a video of
The
a
Sphinx.
werewolf. Somebody said that's a werewolf. They're rare. They haven't been around. And I was like, dude, this is crazy. That now, obviously, too, technology is a lot better. So in my eyes, it's back in the day. You used to have, you remember the show Bigfoot Hunters?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just camera. Now you got regular people with cell phones recording. So it's I think Bigfoot's real.
And the video's
He
still grainy.
yeah. So I mean,
And the video's still grainy of Bigfoot somehow.
yeah. So I don't know. Now the biggest wonder that's actually true, which you could look, everybody could look this up. Go look up how many people go missing in freaking state parks. That
Yeah,
is
yeah,
crazy,
yeah.
and don't even get looked for. So that's the crazy part. So then, if you're talking about mythical creatures, you're like, because there's cave systems that connect across the United States. So,
Yes. 110%.
so when you talk about mythical creatures, they've learned how to hide in plain sight. And if they see somebody walking in the middle of the night because they done got lost, you're walking bait, my boy. You either walking bait or you're with them. So I don't know. It's a lot to not necessarily a lot to think about. It's a lot to want to let your mind go so far deep in that route that I don't know. Some people are just too gung ho about it, and I guess in a sense they feel. And I'm hey
I
man,
I
I
I
get it, I
wouldn't
get it.
I wouldn't say they're too gun ho about it. What I would say is this. I would say sometimes they get lost into wanting to believe so much that the craziest thing that they're being told is the truth, but what might seem logical is a lie. Because
Yeah,
sometimes the truth is crazier than fiction.
that
And
is
it's not
true.
always that simple for people to believe. You would believe something you said. You would rather see it to believe it. And even then, if you actually saw it, you'll be, nah, that's probably not it. Like I said, growing up here in Louisiana and hearing a lot of stories and even seeing some things myself, you will be, that was curious. Let me just keep walking and minding my own business.
I mean, for y'all, yeah, I know it's
But
vampires and stuff.
but
So
that's not just, like I said, that's not just Louisiana. You got things in Illinois, you got things in Wyoming, Idaho, all the
yeah,
different places. Even where you're from in Arizona, if you look it up, there's a lot of crazy things out there.
yeah,
But once again, you can always say, "Oh yeah, I want to see this," and I'll believe it. And even then, you could see it and be, that wasn't real. You'll convince yourself, your mind will convince yourself that, oh yeah, that wasn't real, that was something else. There's a logical reason behind this. There's not always a logical reason behind a lot of things. Hence why a lot of the folklore gets misconstrued or lost, because people try to make sense of a lot of things.
yeah. Well, I mean, and mind you, with that too, there's giants in every culture. There
Yeah.
also, I overall, I'm gonna say this: it's good to let your mind wander and then do your own research, and then you find your own truth, right? But at some point too, you got to come back to reality. So I think that I will never stop wondering until I see the truth, until I see a truth, right? I'm always gonna, because I still, even driving back and forth the Arizona desert, the California Arizona desert, at nighttime, it gets a little weird. I've seen lights before. That's okay. That's awkward. Why is that okay? But
What's that over there?
yeah, like, or yeah, I've seen stuff with my own eyes, and especially in the middle of the night in the ocean.
Yeah,
Your
in the
eyes will
middle of the
play.
ocean. We've seen
Your,
stuff.
your eyes will play some tricks on you sometimes,
But then
So
also too, I am under the notion of I mind my own business a lot of the time.
that is true. That is true. But
That's where I'm at with it. There's a lot of things. If you clock it, you see it, and it's okay, cool. If I see you, guess what? You obviously see me.
yeah,
I don't want to answer questions. I
yeah,
don't want. I don't want to ask. I don't want you to come up behind me. Okay, did you see me? See what? Who's talking? Is that me?
Yeah.
Because a lot of these things don't mean you well. And don't get me
No.
wrong, there's a lot of these things that don't mean you harm either.
But
But
there's more things that want to do harm than they do well. So
yep,
that goes back to having that good spirit. So,
yeah.
but I mean, I don't know. I still will never stop being interested in this stuff. So we can get deeper into the weeds, especially when it comes. Hey, bro, I said if we gonna have these talks, man, we got to talk about the psychological of the giants.
If you want to talk about telepathy and telekinesis, that is fine, but we're not gonna be well, the
Yeah.
reason why it happened is because of this. No, the human mind is a crazy thing. You want to know what's crazy about the human mind? A little known fact is the most selfish part of the human anatomy.
Yeah, but another good thing too is the brain doesn't know whether you're lying or tell the truth.
Yeah,
So,
you can trick the brain. You can always
so,
trick your brain.
but I don't know. I think overall, personally, were there dragons on this earth? Yes. Are we still probably living and sleeping on some fossil ones? Maybe. Maybe.
I
I
want to
still,
find some gold. I would find some gold. If there are dragons, I would love to find some gold because dragons are known for having some of the greatest treasures. The greatest
yeah.
treasures. They're known for having some of the greatest treasures. And if we ever find a dragon or go looking for one, that would be one of the things I would love to get is get a little bit of gold. Maybe a magical stone. Make a
Well, they
wish.
say the reason why they say they have those is because diamonds and gold are the only thing you can use for intergalactic travel. And the reason why they're here is because they came from another planet through intergalactic travel.
The government already has confirmed that aliens are real, so hopefully you're I saw where you were going with it. I saw what you were trying to do, but
So I'm just saying, they say so Giodora, the big red dragon, actually came from the red planet. That's why it's here. And it came looking for gold. And then a war broke out. And it was all this, I don't know. I could talk about it forever. But at the end of the day, for me, yeah, I do think at one point in time it was real. I think right now, no, there's nothing. It's just, I'm not going to say it's just a human race, but I also do believe aliens don't come from above. I think they come from below. On that note,
that is another thing. And this is Grumpy Gill Kickbacks. So this is my host, William the Creative, Big Grump, aka Reggie the Tech. Tell us what you believe and how you feel about these things. Let us know down in the comments. Share and subscribe. Always come back. Peace.
if you